Alright, this is the overview video for the different positions that we'll be in. So if you're half kneeling or tall kneeling, split stance, staggered stance, what does that mean? So each of them does have a specific meaning behind it. The way this works from like easiest to hardest, we'll basically follow what's the fancy word is the neurological development sequence, which is a fancy way of saying the progress a human goes through from baby to adulthood. So think baby, they start off laying on the back, eventually they learn how to roll over to their stomach, then they start crawling around, then they start kneeling, and eventually they're standing, they're walking, standing on one leg, and then they're doing flips and jumps and all that good stuff. So that's basically the way our progressions are going to work for the different positions that we'll be in. We'll start off on our back, and then sometimes we'll go to the stomach, that'll be a little bit harder, and then we're kneeling, two legs, kneeling one-legged, and then we're standing, split stance, one leg, moving, and all sorts of stuff. The reasoning behind this, so the lower you are to the floor, the more the floor is supporting you. So obviously your base of support is greater when you land on the ground. You don't have to worry about balance. So the higher up away from the floor you are, the more balance becomes a factor. That's one part of it. The other part is as we're going from the floor to eventually standing, we add more and more joints that your body has to control. So think if you're laying on your back, I don't really have to control that many joints. Maybe my low back, the SI joint, that's not the only thing I really have to control. It's not like my knees are wobbling or my shoulders are moving around. But when we start kneeling, okay, now I gotta control my hips going forward and back a little bit more, so I added a joint. For half kneeling, okay, now I gotta control this hip joint because my knees wobbling a little bit more. Then standing, I just added a whole lot more joints. One-legged now is a lot more balance. So the higher you go up, the more joints you have to control. So some of the exercises, they may feel more difficult if you're kneeling for standing, like the weight will feel heavier, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's harder. Like, so say we're doing a one-arm row, if you're right here, it might feel easy. If you go down here, that same weight is gonna feel a lot tougher, and technically this would be our less advanced option, so this would be level 1. This would be level 2, but it's going to seem backwards to members. So really what's going on here is when you're standing, you're able to use your legs more, you're able to rock back a little bit more. When you're kneeling, you can't really use your legs, you can't really rock too much, so it's going to feel harder, but that's still going to be our easier level, just because there's less joints, less balancing that you have to do.